Hello friends, back again. So today we're going to look at 4 different things. We're going to look at places where you can purchase Bitcoin or use Bitcoin as an exchange for value. So we're going to look at PayPal, Venmo, which is the same company, CashApp, Strike, and Fold. Okay, I think there are a pretty broad range of different things that are available to me anyway, and I live in the United States. So I'm just looking at those. If we want to do more, you can just let me know and we can probably do that. But I'm going to do it like I did the countries. I'm going to do the short reads, and then we're going to do general oracle cards. The other thing is I got some new decks, so we're going to look at some new pictures. I have a new Lenormand deck that has urban photographs, which is really interesting. I tried it on a read personally, and it was kind of fun. It's the same pictures that we're used to seeing, but they're just more modern, and the symbols mean the same thing, so it's an interesting concept in itself. Anyway, and then I have a new oracle deck, which is named Messages of Cosmic Oracle Cards. And it's kind of like Cosmic Oracle. So I call them my Cosmic Oracle deck. And I think they're going to be fun. So I replaced the Quirky deck just for today to see how these work out. We still have Moonology, and I have a new tarot deck, but the pictures were basically the same. So I just want to try out a new deck because the other ones are getting worn in. Alright, anyway, that's all the stuff for up to date. So these payment processing companies, I've actually used all of them except Venmo, I have some familiarity with them, but I don't have a preference or anything like that. This is not a commercial or an ad. I'm just going to do a read on them just to see how useful they are for the average citizen like me. So let's get started. Oh, I missed my quirky little deck. I'm used to starting out with that and having it in my hands, so this is already different. And like I said, I've used this once already. I went through all the cards, read them all. Shuffled the deck, put it under the moonlight because we're still in a full moon. Clear them. So now we're good. Try them out. Tried them out last night. Okay, here we go. Check in with your body and release any tension you are carrying. Check in with your body and release any tension you are carrying. Can you see that? I gotta figure out how to come in closer without going up. There we go. So let's just relax and enjoy the reading, I guess. Yeah, this is for, no stress. This is how do we get our money from one place to another in a safe way. So we'll leave that there. That's interesting. Okay, good place to start. Thank you, Dick. We appreciate your contribution. Oh, I gotta get my phone out for these. I gotta look up the thing. Okay, I'll do that over here. So these we've seen before, but we're using the reading on them, so that's what makes this kind of new and fresh. Trying new things, seeing what we like. Anger. Oh, anger. So I wonder what we're going to be angry about. Anger. Yeah, it almost looks like I'm getting stung. Ouch. Ouch. Oh, stop. Stop. There we go. This new configuration I still have to learn. Well, there you are. Anger. Let's read about anger. Let's read about anger, my friends. What am I looking for? Documents. What number is anger? 28. Oh, look at that. Perfect. Okay. Oh, went right past it. Oh, this is taking a lot longer than I thought. I should have had this ready. I apologize. No, I'm still getting used to the new system. Okay, coming up, coming up. Come on, lady. Okay, here we go. Anger. Are you getting angry? A very strong and primal emotion. Anger sometimes catches us by surprise, like right now. And other times it seethes just under the surface, simmering a long time while it boils over, scalding anyone who is close. Anger is based in fear. Fear of loss of control, fear of not being loved, fear of being judged, fear of not being enough. When anger enters your life, be it yours or someone else's, go beneath the surface and try to address the real fear that has triggered it. Anger doesn't go away without addressing the underlying fear. Alternately, beware of someone's anger directed towards you. Well, that's an interesting card to show up for money management places. So maybe we have some real feelings about, it's just interesting. You know, I guess there's an emotional reaction to these companies. I guess people have an emotional reaction to them, an emotional response to them. I guess that's based on experience. I don't know if that's based on experience. That's just an, you know, we have anger and check in with your body, you know, relieve tension. This is a lot of stuff that's odd showing up for a reading about, you know, money systems. That's kind of, I'm not expecting this. So we've already taken an interesting direction. Wow, you know, like I say, you never know. You never know what's going to show up on these cards. It surprises me every time. I guess it keeps things interesting. That's good. I have to stay interested or I'd walk away. Anyway, moon card. That full moon is still kicking my butt, by the way. Full moon in Scorpio that's been happening over the last day or so. Wow. Kicking my butt, I'll tell you. Oh, okay. A fiery climax approaches. Full moon in Aries. Like, what's going on here? What is going on? So, you know, we're walking into something that's like exploding. Like, as we watch, as we speak. Alright, full moon in Aries. Full moon in Aries. Oh, look at that. And it even showed up right away. A fiery climax approaches. Full moon in Aries. It's time to see if you've been a little bit too much me. There's a tug of war going on between what you want and what someone else wants, but you'll have to wait a little while to see what's going on to happen next. As you wait, ask yourself if you've been handling the situation as sensitively as you could have done. If you know deep down that you've been a little rash or harsh, gone too fast or overstepped the mark, then accept that on some kind of level you've created the situation yourself, which means you can create your way out of it too. When this card comes up, a peak is coming and it could be fiery. Be nice, be kind, smile, and be polite as you navigate to where you want to be. Being assertive is good, just don't ride roughshod over anyone. If you're in a tense situation, mediate your way to peace. Don't be a baby. Sorry, but this could be an issue. You need to have more fun. Okay. And the teaching is the full moon in Aries is a super fiery time when emotions can run very high. On the upside, there's excitement about what may lie ahead, but tempers are likely to flare with rash comments or decisions. No matter when you pull this card, it signals that the situation has just or is about to come to a peak rather than there could be a price to pay if you have been too competitive or too blunt. Wow. It's like, yeah, okay. Well, let's see what the cards have to say, because I'm speechless. I have no words at the moment. I'm just noticing all this tension and anger and fire. Like, wow. All because I said strike and fold and Cash App and PayPal and Venmo. Like, really? What's going on, man? What's going on? Okay. Where's my corner? Here it is. Alright, so, let's see. How are we showing up as, oh, yeah, we're going to do each one separate. So this one's going to be on PayPal, excuse me, PayPal and Venmo, which is the same company. And how are they showing up? We're going to do that little read. Okay. So in the past, you can see that. How's that better? In the past, they are the Queen of Pentacles. Is that the Queen of Pentacles? Yes. No, that's the Nine of Pentacles. Nine of Pentacles, excuse me. They're similar. Yeah, but sovereign, lots of money, wealth, security, a good place. Living in a good place. So that's where they're coming from. So I think they started from a place of money. Someone who was backing them was in a good place, not asking for much, very solid and well established. The Ace of Swords is about the truth and being a good place to go that has visibility, transparency, steadfastness. Those are the things, thoughts and words, and, you know, money, thoughts and words. So how you think about money and what the rules are in your eyes. This is who you truly are. Someone who comes from a good place, who they truly are. How everybody sees them walking away like, nah, we can do this better. So they did. They said, nah, this online banking crap is crap. They don't even have, most banks don't have good apps anyway. PayPal is so much easier, and that's why they came out. They said, nah, we're walking away from the system, we're going to do something new. That's how everybody sees them, that they are, you know, part of the rebellion. But I don't know here, because it looks a lot like they were well established and came from money. Okay, anyway, let's pull another card. So this is, you know, kind of how they appear today, right now, and they're making deals. They're a merchant services operation, and that's what they're supposed to be, a merchant services operation. They work with merchants and they work with customers, and they are the middleman, and that makes things go. I guess that's good. It gets people away from credit card companies, because boy, do we have to get away from credit card companies. So something like PayPal is, you know, it makes sense, and it's a step that people can take and understand, because they can understand apps and they can understand how things are made easier. So, and I think PayPal's been around a long time. Okay, so let's see what's going to show up down here. Okay, so yeah, Knight of Swords, they're moving forward with the same message of truth and you know, getting things done and paving the way. Paving the way, I think, is the most appropriate. But they're paving the way to a better, you know, better place. They're steadfast, they're fortified, they're still a strong presence. and they're all about making changes. That's the mission, is to make changes in this way. So the fact that everybody sees them like this, it might be, PR, but it seems like there's some integrity there. Um, I don't understand the policies and how they are in place, and the company comes out like this. But this is what's the reading for PayPal and Venmo. Um, a lot of integrity, a lot of truth. They're a strong merchant. They come from money. They're solid. They're fortified. The only card that has any question is how they are seen by the public. And this, they're seen as, I guess, somebody who's walking away. They're seen as somebody who's walking away. So, all right. Anyway, I gotta flip this. This is why I'm having trouble, I think. There we go. Perfect. Okay. Oh yeah. Makes all the difference in the world for me. Okay. So that's PayPal and Venmo. That's not a bad reading. I mean, this company is not, or this group of companies is not coming off as bad, whatever the talk is on the street. These are very good cards. Major arcana here. These are strong, truthful, they're doing what they're supposed to do cards. So that's their reading. Interesting. Okay, one down. So CashApp is next. Okay, I give up. It's a new deck of cards. Yeah, already a damaged one. I didn't pay a lot for them, as you can tell. They're not real high quality. Okay, let's see. CashApp. Okay. How you showing up, CashApp? Oh, well, that's interesting. So, they're showing up as the King of Pentacles, which is money, but that's also well-established money. But there's anxiety in the past, and I'm not sure what the stress and worry is about, because they're also seen as hardworking and willing to put in the effort, but they're showing up as the King of Pentacles, so they're trustworthy, and they do their job in an appropriate way, and it's a solid situation. So it's interesting that there was stress and worry in the past, and it doesn't really tie in with the anger that may be coming up. I don't know. Okay, so where are we going here? Oh, well, more Pentacles, so that's also interesting. The Page of Pentacles is, interested in money, learning about money, focused on money. Gazing at this pentacle and understanding it in a way that's, personal and public and thoroughly. And this is, putting in the hard work. And this is the King of Pentacles. So this guy still makes me scratch my head a little and go, maybe they didn't want to come in and they did it because they needed to be competitive with PayPal. I don't know. I don't know where they're coming from, because this is stress, anxiety, worry. And where are we going? Oh my. Wow. Well, that's a lot of story there. Justice and the Tower. I want to say that there's something relevant between these cards. And this is an action card. You know, looking out at new vistas, ready to set out, but, you know, still in the planning stages. Okay, let's think about this. Where are we going to go? What are we going to do? But the Tower card, which is the future, this is major changes. Major changes. Like, major changes. So, I don't know about that. CashApp. And the Justice card showing up. That's really interesting. I kind of wonder if this has anything to do with the Samurai Wallet situation and the things that we're going to discover about the Bitcoin ledger. And maybe they're going to set down some requirements as to what is required, the standard of operation. Let's use that term. The standard of operation should be thus and such, and those that aren't following it maybe aren't going to have a big tower until they figure out how to go forward, because justice is moving in and saying, no, you can't do that anymore. So that's interesting, because CashApp may have something to do with the Samurai Wallet situation and whatever we find out about that case. It may not be, but it just seems like there's going to be a big tower moment for CashApp, because they do things differently than PayPal, maybe. It just looks like the setup is different, but it also comes from a place of anxiety. So, you know, maybe they were set up to fail so that we can see it happen and be involved in it. I don't know. It's another lesson in the future that we haven't had yet, it seems. So keep your eye on CashApp, because that might become something to watch and learn from. The cards are saying that. The cards are suggesting that there's going to be some sort of legal situation, justice. There's going to be some legal situation that steps in, and then they're going to have to figure out what to do, and it's going to be major changes. Major. But I think it comes from their past, because right now, everything's cooking along great. And this is my sense of, you know, what's present now. This is the past, this is the future. You know, your guess is as good as mine, honey. Okay, well, that was interesting. That was a pretty clear message. Pretty clear. Okay. Okay, next one is strike. So like I said, I've used all of these. So when I get a reading like that, I really wonder, because I've been personally involved. You know, are their records going to be compromised as well? Because that means me, baby. I don't know. Anyway, let's think about strike. Wow. I just thought about it. We did a walk with the dogs this morning again, and I just was walking and thinking about what am I going to do for my show today, and that was a perfect thing. It just was like, yeah, I'm ready to do that. Okay, strike. Already looking good. So, nice. The Two of Cups, which is kind of a love affair. You know, people that want to come together in a very good and beneficent, beneficial to everyone way. You know, they're coming together for the good of humanity as well as their own benefit. Everybody wins. So that's where they're coming from. They're thinking of themselves as, I'm moving out of troubled water. Finally, there's a place we can go and we can fit in, and it's somewhere where we can survive, and we're happy that we have a place. We're relieved that we have a place to go. And everyone sees them as well fortified and strong. Everyone sees them as well fortified and strong. So that's their public appearance. Strike. I guess that makes sense. So we already have cups and swords and wand energy, which is all really well balanced. Oh, and they're coming to the star. The star is, you know, the ability to be in all places, almost omnipotent, in a sense of being able to deliver extraordinary things and understanding almost on a level beyond what others understand. So, you know, higher mind almost is what I'm kind of thinking, which that's interesting because strike, I don't know, it has like a military name to it, but this is almost like a celestial heart to it, but it's really straightforward. Wow. Major Arcana too, so that's a big message. Okay, let's see how this spells out. Oh, the Emperor. Raining money. And Knight of Cups. Yeah, they're looking really good. Like, stellar. They're the star. The Emperor is no slouch. This is like Don Corleone. I was trying to think of who would be a good example of the Emperor. But yeah, that's like, you know, Don Corleone. You don't mess with him, and he's the boss of all the bosses. That's the Emperor. This is a Knight of Cups. You know, he has a heart. He's open. He's a nice young man on an honest mission. That's kind of who he is. It's nice that the Emperor has him alongside, and they have rain and money, baby. So yeah, they're doing very, very well. Coming from a place of very well. So this could just be a very benevolent person who's backing, or who initially came together and backed this. And it's just beautiful all the way around. It's just, you know, maybe this person came from a place where they were brilliant, but they just needed the right backing. And the right backing showed up, and they are so grateful. And it was a divine intervention almost. It's well fortified spiritually and physically. The Knight of Cups, it's a good person to be alongside the Emperor. And the Emperor is the Emperor. He's kind of self-explanatory in that he is, you know, above all kings. He is all wise and magnificent. Yeah, well, that's quite a reading. I mean, that's like, wow. So, way to go, strike. A+, baby. That's an amazing bunch of cards. That's an amazing bunch of cards. Is that right? Yeah. Okay. And now we do fold. I have personal experience, like I said, with all of these. And it's very surprising to me the way they're showing up, because my personal experience is just my personal experience. And it has no relevance to anything I'm seeing here. You know, like zero relevance. So, I still have to explain this anger and, you know, tension and a fiery climax. Unless, of course, that was CashApp. crazy. Take a look at Fold with their little spinning wheel. Okay, baby. Tell me your story, Fold. Oh, jeez. Wow. Well, they're coming from a place of justice. So, I don't know. I almost want to say, like, maybe some brilliant criminals were in jail and they said, all right, if you do these good things, we'll let you be out of jail. You know, justice, here we are. That's a great card for history, but it's a little, you have to kind of question. But, you know, that could be new wonderful things, too, going forward, in terms of thoughts and words. But Major Arcana, so coming from a place that was meant to be, so to speak. It was in the cards, essentially. But a lot of fast movement and, you know, somebody who's checking out the terrain and saying, okay, how can I use my skills in this wand to make things go my way? Motivated, planning to go out in the world and conquer the world as a young man. So that's interesting. Fold. Oh, jeez. Okay. Okay, what's next? Wow. Walking away from something. A life of crime, perhaps. Walking away from something. That's what they're doing. They're walking away from something. They're leaving it all behind. Let's find out where they're going. Oh, jeez. Look at all these wands everywhere. No, Ace of Wands. Oh, look at this. The star again. Wow. Okay. My cards are falling over. They're so slippery because they're new. Okay, well, this is interesting because there's a lot of... It's almost like there was justice served, and finally they were free to move quickly into what they wanted to do. You know, they're doing things in an appropriate way, but they're sort of playing catch-up. But they're going to make it to the place that they want to get to, and it's going to be good, but they're still hustling. They've walked away from something that didn't serve them. Something that didn't serve them has been removed, you know, they left it behind. And so, I mean, this could be, honestly, this could be anybody. It could be finally someone who was being oppressed, finally being free and able to do what they need to do, which is why they're hustling, because they know what they need to do. The Ace of Wands is a ridiculously strong motivator. I mean, they know what they need to do. They are divinely inspired. Here we go again. They are divinely inspired to accomplish this task. So, and they are being almost like fed information to do it, how to do it correctly. Maybe it was somebody who wasn't allowed to be on mission. And finally the roadblocks were taken away, and they were finally allowed the justice of the situation, and they are allowed to be on mission. So they're in a hurry because they know what the mission is. There's strong delivery of messages. They know where they need to get to. It's all about motivation and getting there fast and doing it, but they're getting almost like downloads of where to go and what to do. They're moving so quickly and so brilliantly. But it's all because they've finally been freed from whatever the situation was. And the roadblocks are gone now. And this is somebody who is on mission and hot on mission. And that's Fold card. That's, you know, somebody playing catch up, and they're really trying to figure this out fast. But they are very much divinely inspired, motivated, and they're on path. So that's Fold card. Yeah, it feels more like, instead of someone who's coming out of jail and being given a second chance, it feels like someone who was oppressed and finally saw justice. And they finally have justice, so the rest of this doesn't matter because they walked away from it. It's in the past. You would think this card would be in the past, but that would tell a different message. But yeah, now they're in a big hurry, and this is Wands, Wands, Wands. This is Eight of Wands, Page of Wands, Four of Wands, Ace of Wands. This is... And then two major arcanas to help them. So that's a simple story. Two major arcanas to help them. All these wands and walking away from the crap of the past. Letting it go. You see what happens when we release people and allow them to do what they were meant to do. This is the kind of story you see. This is what you see when you finally have justice for the people who are being oppressed and have brilliant ideas. This is what they can do. Fold card. So, yeah, that's how they're showing up. That's an interesting story. It's all like they're different. They're all different horses in the race. They all come from different places. They have different stories. Oh, I should have left that. No, why? They all have different stories, and you know, they're all in the race, and they're all doing it a little different. But I don't know. It looks like somebody's gonna get their hand slapped. Okay, now you gotta check this out, because this is so fun. So there's this new card deck I have, and this is the new Lenormand, and it even has a book, and you can have the different things in the book, like there's a general meaning, a personal meaning, a love meaning, and a reversed meaning. I always was told Lenormands, you don't read reversed. So I think I'm going to continue to not read reversed and just read the other ones. But anyway, so that's that. I don't know, do I have to read reverse now that I have a definition for it? I feel obligated. I feel like I'm not playing by the rules. Yeah, that's all right. I didn't color in my other tarot deck, so I don't always play by the rules. Okay, anyway. I'm also doing this at a later time of the day, so I think the illumination is better. The sun isn't right in here. Okie dokie, Lenormand. 3 cards. The Rider. The Coffin. And the Heart. Well, the Rider was upside down. So we'll see if that means anything different. Okay, let me show you these pictures. The Rider. Remember, it used to be a guy on a horse? Well, now it's a guy on a motorcycle. So that's the Rider. The Coffin, pretty much the same. The other one was a coffin with a blanket or cloth draped over it. And the Heart. Okay, so those are the urban, what are they called? Oh, they don't say. The urban something. Oh, Urban Oracle. Urban Oracle. So I got them on Amazon for not a lot of money, which I said, oh, well, Lenormand, yeah, we got to do that. Okay, so number 9. No. Is that 9? Oh, that's 1. Excuse me. Coffin. That Coffin. Rider is 1. Let's see. General meaning, receiving news, updates, or important information in the fast-paced world. Expecting messages. So, financial meaning is promotion, attempting job offer, discovering a new source of income. So, News and updates. New source of income. News and updates and a new source of income. Well, we're talking about these PayPal and Cash and Strike, so, I mean, in those terms, maybe there's a new up-and-coming one, or these are new and up-and-coming. I think that's true. I think they're a new version of not going to your bank and dealing with your bank. Banks are becoming irrelevant. They're only around because they've been around for so long. So that would make sense for what we're talking about. Let's look at the coffin. The coffin is the end of a life period, so a cycle. Embracing a transformative phase, closure, destruction of outdated roles, and moving forward. Yeah, that makes sense too, because of what we were just saying here. This is the intermediary thing that we're going to do now. Instead of doing banks and checks and all that kind of thing, this is what we're doing now. We're moving to this. So new ones may come about. These may, come and go. But we're looking at these right now. But that's what the coffin is saying. It's just the next phase of a cycle. Navigating a difficult period of stagnation or a change in status. So, yeah, we're just doing something else now because checks and banks and it's too slow. It's like snail mail, and email, that kind of thing. And 24. Let's see, general heart, of course, love, romance, elevating relations, improving the atmosphere. So, yes. And satisfaction from work, potential love affairs at work, career advancement, praise for the quality of work. Yeah, so are they doing their job? Yes. Are they going to change with how things need to change? Probably, or it's going to end a cycle, but they're in a cycle right now that may come and go, depending on the needs of society. I think they're going to be around for a while, and I think banks are going to go away, and these things are going to become bigger and stronger parts of what everybody's doing. They're going to have to be a strong foundation, and it's okay that there are a lot of them because they'll compete, and that's better when they compete because that keeps things like the price of transaction fees on the node. When there's high demand, then there's high demand, and when there's low demand, there's low demand, and the fees reflect that. That's the normal cycle of, if a bunch of people show up, you got to wait in line. That's how it works. That's how things work. So you got to let things work, and that's what these companies are allowing us to do, is keep our things together. So, yeah, I like this Urban Oracle deck. I like the messages, too. They're a lot more complete and a lot more up-to-date. The other one was the original one, and it was very, very, very traditional meanings. And this is more, like they say, it's more urban, it's more up-to-date. They understand the concepts, and they're, changing the pictures, but they're also making the wording more relevant to today's society. So that's cool. So we have one more card, the animal. This was also another big informative read because we did 4 different... No, I'm not going to timestamp them. Sorry, you're just going to have to watch. Not that sophisticated. I don't even have a computer. Oh, the White Rabbit. This is the card I pulled for myself today. Okay. The Little White Rabbit. Now that means multiplication, remember, and swiftness. Fast, fast bunny. Hey, we're finally out of the air and on the ground. We're a rabbit. Afraid of everything, overwhelmed, frozen. The rabbit loves to remind his friends that someday the eagle will swoop down and eat him. He talks and talks and talks about it so loudly, in fact, that one day the eagle hears and thanks him for the great idea. Rabbit energy is alive when we are scared, most often about the future, and we become our own worst enemy. We spin up a dust cloud of fear and then complain to others that we are lost. Notice your thoughts and words, O rabbit. They shape your destiny. Sensitive, problem solver, good listener. So that's really appropriate for this kind of a reading because of who we're talking about here, which is these companies that facilitate our ability to move from one system to another. That's really what it is. We're moving from the fiat system to the Bitcoin system, but we're kind of mixing the experience, so we're still experiencing both of them at the same time. It's like living in two worlds. We are living in two worlds, but that's what happens during the transition. That's why you were born, because you were supposed to be here and you're supposed to help. So, alright, anyway, enough of that. I'll say